Obviously, Tim wasn't available for the photo shoot, so they got his special brother, Jim.
Jim stepped up.
Now let's get lively. Gather round, let's sort the buyers from the spies, the needy from the greedy, and those who trust me from those who don't. Eddie Murphy! Fuck you!
Get the fuck out of here. Man, you fight with nobody.
Best of all time, and before time was even created.
Follow me, Hunt. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Don't be scared, homie.
I'm not surprised.
Our family.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude! Twist that dick! Twist his dick!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed time for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching along at home. This is the Eggplant Tornado podcast, the fight podcast for the common man. We coming at you live at a Garden Disaster Studios, back in the studio, all three of us, for the first time in a couple of weeks. And with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the Griff. How you doing this week, buddy?
Fucking brilliant.
As you can see, I'm trying to rush through this fucking intro so we can get to our third co-host here.
How you doing?
Not bad.
We just played him a little short from our Sunday edition. Tune in to see what I said. Might have been offensive, might not have been.
I believe that goes up pretty much like at time of recording right now.
Boom.
It should be live.
What's up?
So go and check that one out.
It's on our YouTube. While you're on YouTube, you might as well hit like, subscribe, fucking whatever else you do on that fucking thing. Hit dislike. I don't fucking care anymore. Right?
Seems a lot of people do that, but it's
love
quite
it.
funny.
Alright, love it.
But we do have Froomey back,
We got the Froome back.
as
In the
promised.
Back
We
from the
weren't
bush.
lying to you.
We weren't. He's been fucking in the cave for a while, doing some work.
So what exactly were you doing?
Like concrete.
Buddy, laying the concrete.
Sounds so
Ladies and
vague.
Footpath, driveway.
Just making sure that people
Yeah,
can
hard
walk
stuff.
and drive and park, you know? Doing God's work.
God's work. But speaking of doing God's work, what have we got on the schedule for today, people, Griff?
We're going to start off stock standard, believe it or not. You can't go wrong with a little believe it or not. Probably not the most packed episode of believe it or not, but, you know, if the world doesn't want to give us news, can't give it to the people, man.
This is exactly it. It's a slow start to the year.
Plus,
Plus, we had a huge news week last week.
it was girthy.
Jesus.
We're gonna roll into the boxing, so the Eubank versus Smith card. Then we're going
surprised that was.
fucking out of control. Eh?
Get him beefy.
Fucking beefy. Then we're gonna roll on into the UFC 283 breakdown.
We are.
It was a fun card, man.
I didn't get around to watching it, but you did, so
It was good. It was a fucking good one. That's for damn sure.
Look off. We'll have to go for the Griff's word there. I was out and about.
That's it. It's all on Griff. It's all on the Griff to let you know
got it covered.
what happened.
What else have we got?
We got Beterbiev. I feel like he's going forward driving this weekend. I feel like he's taking a bit of a different approach though, and he's going yard driving.
Time.
and-
Fucking time.
Then we're gonna roll on into that sounds my Bernie. So not a massive episode, but you know, the full team's back.
We got little bits and yeah, exactly. Like you said, not a huge news week, but pretty big fucking news week in Australia. So why don't we kick it off? Believe it or not, with a fucking altercation that happened during mid-December. That's only just come into the news. I spoke about before the show.
It's a good one.
So Australian cricket legend Michael Clarke had a bit too much to drink. Got a hand job from his ex-missus. His
Did you get come on
current
the back?
Say again.
Did you get come on the back?
Not sure. It might have been on the front.
Might have got it on the hand.
Who knows about the angle? Could have been on a bathroom stall. Anything.
The cheap Kim K.
The wish Kim K does. Fuck. Get off of it.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh shit. All right. So, like, turn of events. His current girlfriend or wife, whatever, finds out that he's done this. Michael Clarke ends up shirtless, having an altercation with his missus. Who should step in but host of Channel 7's Today Show, Was it Channel 9?
legend.
Channel 7, whatever the fuck it is.
Channel 9.
Channel 9. Channel 9's Today Show, Australian fucking broadcasting legend, Carlos Stefanovic, who tries to get in and, diffuse the conflict. Clark gets a bit lippy. So,
Carlos.
what does Carlos do? He just fucking hauls one off right into Clarky's jaw.
Beautiful. Beautiful fucking
As
thing
all,
here in Australia.
Channel 9 TV hosts do, apparently.
Old Carl.
What a fucking guy, hey. He just does what he likes. I'm just going to punch a fucking Australian sporting legend in the face and get away with it. I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, Clark was obviously pissed, yelling at his missus because he did the wrong thing. So,
Yeah.
fair enough, Carl punched him in the face, but also hilarious that, like, you got punched in the face by Carl Stefanovic, man.
Oh, beautiful scenes down at the Gabba.
I can send him for
Beautiful.
6. But then the so like the only bit of the footage that ended up online was Michael Clark shirtless walking down the street, screaming at Carl, calling him Carlos, saying that you can't walk away from me after you've punched me in the face. He can, you can't. Just another fucking like absolute round of applause for, sports legends, ending up here at the top of their career and just fucking living down here
Just
a
plummeting.
couple of years after it. You can't, just,
The fall from the top.
fuck,
Yeah,
man, just play a couple
beautiful.
more years of cricket if you need to stay in the limelight. Don't do this. Why?
That's the thing. I don't think he wanted it in the limelight. He was trying to cop a sneaky Rixty
Yeah.
off his ex.
Fucking big mouth Carl.
Snitches get stitches, Carlos.
Carlos. Fuck me dead, mate.
He fucked himself over.
Yeah.
Fuck me, like it's the Dana White conversation from a couple of weeks ago, man. It's like you're Michael Clark in Australia at an event. Like people are gonna see you go into the bathroom with your ex missus and be like, "That's Michael Clark and his ex missus."
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably
What
getting
about that
wristy in there.
Yeah.
Isn't he married to someone else?
It's a strange turn of events. Better get my phone out that I have constant access to.
Yeah.
Oh look, now he's shirtless and yelling at the host of Channel 9's Today Show.
I wish someone got the punch, eh?
Oh, dude, nothing better. But next exhibition fight in Australia, Clark
Oh.
versus fucking Carlos.
I'm down. I'm fucking
Yeah,
down
fucking-
on that.
Carlos, you need some trainers. What
Yeah,
are your
I'm-
boys?
I mean, I got a headliner for the card. The Griff versus the
Hey.
Hornet. We got a headliner
Oh, the
already.
Griff versus the Hornet.
We got a headliner. We got Michael Clark versus fucking Carlos in the co-main.
And no one gets paid for the main. It's just for the commentary of the zoo fight.
And I'll fight
Boom.
that blonde
Alright.
wanker from The Bachelor.
I don't watch that shit.
I don't know. I literally seen like 5 minutes of it of the first show because I was sitting there eating dinner with mum. This cunt like walks into like this blind date with this girl and tries to give her a rose, and she's like, nah. And he just gets so fucking butthurt about it. Like literally acts like a child on
Is he
national
Is
television.
he like a tattooed up guy?
Tattooed up guy,
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah.
blonde, looks like Machine Gun Kelly, but then says like, "Oh, I'm a country boy," and it's like, no, you're not.
I mean,
No, you're fucking
I
not.
feel like that's murder in first round.
Your dad
Get up.
hates you. I guarantee it.
I reckon even my dad hates him.
Your dad's at the pub and that shit's on. They're like, "Isn't that your boy?" And he's like, and just sinks further and further into the bottom of his fucking glass.
Nah.
Sinks further into his depression. That
Yeah.
is his son.
That's not my son.
That's outrageous. I mean, we got a bit of a card going. Put it on DAZN. Fucking call it Misfits fucking 17.
Hey, Eddie, fucking get around it.
Misfits Australia.
Fucking get off our dicks.
This those are some fucking misfits, that's for sure. But speaking of things that are going to be happening in Australia, for sure, we got a fucking shock announcement this morning that we're all talking about. So Timmy Zoo is making his homecoming to fight for the WBO interim world title against Tony Harrison in March. I believe it's March 12th.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking huge.
I couldn't get any harder.
Girthy.
Not even with a blue chew.
Oh. Nah, no need for him. No need for him when there's a fucking zoo fighting.
None at all. Just cancel the shipping. Had him on the way, just like, no. See, what's happened here is like,
I gave Frankie a call. I was like, hold on to that order for now, mate.
but let's
That's
quick
a fucking vibe, bro.
before we do get into the analysis of the fight, let's quickly get into some analysis of the fight poster that we saw this morning.
Jesus Christ, they've done him dirty.
Obviously, Tim wasn't available for the photo shoot, so they got his special brother Jim.
Jim stepped up.
Timmy,
Jim stepped up. He got the photo shoot done. He done his best to pull
The team.
his best Tim face, but like we're a bit off.
Seriously, who picked that fucking photo?
I don't know.
Nah, this is his best side. This is no one's best side.
I like how they have the other dude looking like a G. He's got glasses on. He's just fucking pimping. Like, he looks fire. And then they just got fucking Tim. Yeah, just fucking.
Like,
oh man.
why?
Looks like
Why
he's
is this happening?
Looks like he's just been kicked by a horse. Oh, but they've done him dirty. They've done Australia dirty.
100%. Like, whoever the fuck did that graphic needs to be fired.
Right.
It was
Like,
the
anybody
first-
involved in that
That
process.
was the
needs to be
first
fired.
graphic they could find. Like someone had seen that it had been announced. I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we'll put that up. No, like put a bit of effort into it.
It's legit. It's like they couldn't, like, they had a cool photo of Tony Harrison, but they were like, oh, we don't really have anything, like, cool of Tim Zoo, so let's just, like, chuck him through that AI software and see what we get. His eyes are all, like, fucking looking each different. He looks like a
Right.
fucking chameleon.
It's legitimately the worst job they could have done. Like the AI. Like they picked like the cheapest software.
My favorite part, though, is the fact that, like, knowing, like, and seeing what Tim Zoo was like in press conferences, he would see that shit and just be like, that's funny.
Yeah, fuck yeah. He's the most chilled back fucking dude.
Exactly.
But then we'll
Just doesn't care.
eat your fucking heart in
Yeah.
that ring if he wants to. I'm excited for that fight. Interim belt? Did we
Interim
discuss
belt.
it?
WBO
Yeah.
interim belt.
So we just got to fucking let Charlo heal his fucking pussy injury.
Yeah.
Fuck me dead, eh?
Heal up the walls of your fucking uvula there.
He's fucking... Let's just fucking move on from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
saying something.
I still don't know what happened with the whole investigation that the WBO were doing into him.
Well, they can't just go look at a man's pussy, Ned. So I feel like he was just like, you know, it's just been swept under the rug. He'll heal his pussy, and they'll
Yeah.
go back.
Fucking hell.
They'll go back at it probably like August.
Couldn't find the gynecologist report.
Gone bush. So they're fucking.
Oh, but speaking of massive pussies, Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul confirmed for February 25th via Ariel Helwani in the MMA Hour.
All right, let's make sure Tommy gets there.
Yeah.
he may be sick or something.
He might
So
fucking break his pussy too. Get
Yeah.
the fuck off me, hey. What the fuck?
Yeah, but that's actually gonna happen through rigorous training and John Fury forcibly breaking his pussy with a medicine ball.
I mean,
see John Fury in there with just like one of them fucking shirts on, like a six pack and shit, trying to pretend he's Tommy.
Yeah.
Like, it might even be Tommy in the ring.
Yeah.
He just have like a mask on.
yeah, just be some visibly fat dude in a skinny suit. You're like, what's happening right now? But
Tommy ate a lot.
I mean, I'm excited for that. Like,
Yeah, I'm excited to see Tommy Fury go to sleep too.
he's not the best boxer, but like, he's a boxer nonetheless.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's honestly gonna be a real test for both of them.
I mean, like, if Jake loses, he lost to someone that's been boxing since they were a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he can either learn from it and grow. Tommy loses that fight.
If Tommy Fury loses that fight, his dad said he loses his name. He said he's literally disowning him from the family. He said if he loses to Jake Paul, he's not a Fury.
I mean, the way things are going, Tommy probably loses that fight. Like, with Jake's rise, you know what
Can you
I mean?
imagine having that pressure riding on you?
That's a lot.
It is.
Oh, my dad is going to disown me if I lose to this guy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Like, as much as that would spur you on, that it's also like that would just play on your head as well.
100%.
And then, like, that's not a good way to motivate your kid.
No, not at all.
I will not be your father if you lose.
The Fury way.
Have fun.
though. The Fury way.
Fucking red hot. Absolutely red hot. But I mean,
Yeah,
when's
they
that
seem like
February?
real well-adjusted people.
Beautiful people. It's like they love a good fucking...
I can't argue with that, Ned.
They love a good white Christmas, them fellas.
And every day is
46 kids,
Christmas too. That's
coke
how much I love a
binges.
white Christmas.
That's right.
talking
Every
about
day is-
driving cars off bridges. Just fucking average, just the average folk.
When did you say that is?
Average gypsy folk.
Monday.
When did you say that fight was?
February 25th, I believe.
All right.
So we got a good couple of fights rolling into the next couple of months. So
We do.
let me take quick step back in the last week because Froomey hasn't been here and we had some fucking huge shit
Welcome back.
come up.
Thanks, man.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
It's
good to be back.
You can, like, straight away, you
Not
can
to be in
tell
the bush.
how much better it is all fucking being
Oh,
in the
it's
same
just
room.
fucking.
Good not being in the bush and that, you know?
Yeah, it would be
Good to be
good.
back.
It'd be good not driving, an hour up a dirt road to get home.
Yeah, it was fun at times, but you know, road
Mostly
widens-
not.
Road widens a little bit, but most of it is fuck.
At least you got the car for it.
Oh yeah,
But so we'll just start with Usman Edwards 3. I believe that's UFC 286 that's going to be in London, which is
Close
the
to
same
have it.
card that Gaethje is fighting. Fucking
H2R motorbike on.
fucking his name's actually Fiziev or something like that.
We
So I don't know
were-
how the fuck did we get
I feel like he's got a in his first name, maybe.
Rafael Fiziev?
That's fucking. What do you mean?
That's how we got there.
I told you we were close.
We made it.
We were fucking heaps close.
So yeah,
We were so fucking not close.
So yeah, we've got Usman Edwards 3 and Gaethje making his return against Fiziev on that UFC 286 card. What do you think about that?
it's good. It's good.
Love
Hopefully,
I was wholly satisfied. Just that's good.
Yeah.
well, it's good to see some actual
Froomey's
decent fights.
Froomey's
getting
found
that
real inner
shit.
peace in the fucking
Like-
in the jungle. He's just
Yeah.
been sitting on top of a rock, just meditating every morning. It will be as it is.
Well, fuck, there's not really much being announced, real like as of late until I go spend time in the bush, and now I'm just like, oh,
Oh, until
it's good. These fights are like actually getting pushed forward.
Dana White slaps his misses and then just needs to like fucking rain fights on us like he's raining ones in the club to try and bury it in the news cycle.
Hey, that is a cool thing, hey.
100%.
There's a lot of shit announced after fucking Dana slapped his fight.
That's real convenient that John Jones all of a sudden just got his fucking contract in order and Ngannou's out and fucking, Gaethje's back and we're talking about Conor and what did Dana do again?
Wait, can we talk about Conor?
Flooded out.
What the fuck?
What do you mean?
That dude looks like he's aged like 80 years since he left the UFC.
Ooh, yeah.
He looks terrible.
You shouldn't, obviously he had to shave his beard for what's he in? He's in a remake of Roadhouse.
Roy will do that.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll age you.
Yeah, they really fucking will. And yeah, he had to be on something to be recovering from his injury that quickly.
How big he was when he was recovering.
Huge.
And then he just randomly ages like 100 years. Fuck me dead. He looks like shit. I seen a post this morning. I'm like, God damn.
But, so yeah, apparently he's, all the talk that I see about that is he's slated to fight Chandler at some point this year at 170.
That's a fucking fun fight.
That's a fucking great fight. And the build up to that is fucking amazing.
Oh, just the nicest dude ever versus fucking Conor.
Yeah.
The fucking mad build up.
And I'd love, dude, I want to see Chandler at 170.
I want to see Chandler just trying to be motivational and Conor just making fun of him. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
Just ripping him apart.
Oh, it's got to be fucking great.
Am I excited for that fight?
Oh, he's in my DMs.
Yeah. I don't see Chandler really getting affected by that. A great deal. I've just been like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably not going to bother him whatsoever.
Still make it like a motivational thing.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, Chandler is like literally like built like a Greek god. It's like, nobody's cheating on you. Fucking, look at that guy.
With 80-year-old McGregor.
Yeah, 100% old man McGreg.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Old Greg. So yeah, like we've got that happening, and then at the pay-per-view before that, we have John Jones making his return against Cyril Gane. It's been fucking literally years in the making. Like I said to Griff on the episode, I seen a tweet or in a picture on Facebook, like a picture of a tweet from John Jones. Somebody asking him, when are you going to move up to heavyweight? In 2012.
Yeah, I've
And he
seen that.
said, oh, probably next year. It's been a decade.
It's been a fucking long ass time.
It really fucking
I
has.
did see that post. I was like, oh fuck.
He's
That was-
looking.
What
he's
happens
looking
when
good,
you get busy getting on the fucking bags and slapping a pregnant woman and shooting guns in the air like you're a fucking
like you just
ranger,
don't care.
like a sheriff from
That's
fucking
it, bro.
fucking Cowboy days. Yeah. Like Cullen the Simpsons.
Fucking Johnny the Kid.
Johnny is fucking a madman. I mean, will he make it to the fight?
That's the biggest question. If he makes it, like I said, if he makes it, Cyril leaves in a fucking body bag.
Yeah.
Time will tell, but I don't think he'll make it there at this rate. It's been that long, he just might fucking
Go down off the rails again, huh?
Yeah, he's been too good for
He's
too
signed
long.
an 8-fight contract.
Yeah, well, he's due to fuck up. That's all I'm saying.
It's a fucking.
It's been what, like a year?
That's a, like it's the thing. That's a huge call, but it is like 99% accurate.
Like, he's been too good for too long.
Yeah, that's it. Like he's been given his like last fucking chance, and it's a huge fucking chance, and he's now going to be the face of the company again if he does everything right. And that's exactly the kind of situation you don't want someone like John Jones in.
Let's have a look at the track record.
It's exactly the same situation he was in 2012 when he said he was going to move up to the heavyweight division.
Yeah. I mean, the track work. The
Oh,
track
man, everything's
record works
riding on
against
me.
him.
I better get a bag. It should have got in there.
Yeah. Well, don't go through
Give me the
that.
dick pills.
Yeah. Fucking, like it's just about due. It was at this stage he fucked up the first time.
Yeah.
It's
Hey.
taken him like 10 years to get back to.
How many times has he done it?
4 or 5.
That's too much.
Like, I'd say 4.
Yeah, like you include like just the shit he's done,
Mm.
like with the shit like outside of the UFC, and then he's had his shit for like fucking roids and all that thrown in as well. Like he's a cat.
It just
He's got 9 lives.
Dude, he does.
Like they just keep giving him chance after chance.
the fact exactly, and the fact that they keep giving him chance after chance is only testament to how good of a fucking athlete he really is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it was anybody else, they'd be gone by now.
There's
Fuck
only
yeah.
2 people that can beat John Jones, and it's John Jones and his coke dealer. 2 people. No one else can beat him. It's been proven.
John Jones is fucking 3-0 against his dealer.
Right, it is.
The only man that holds a winning record.
100%. Nah, I'm all out.
Every
All out,
time.
bro. All out. It's just a dub.
Every time, first round KO.
All over. It's all fucking over Red Rover. But
But you imagine that he messages his coke dealer like a week before the fight, and his coke dealer just says like, "No,
yeah,
I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You're not fucking this up."
yeah, we need you.
Come see me after the fight. John.
Yeah, I'll be at the press conference.
Yeah.
With a bag.
Yeah, like
If you win,
Yeah, you just got to go in there and beat him, which I mean, probably gonna happen.
and that's how you motivate your son, John.
it's yours if you win.
He's like, eh? Tyson Post's there around the corner. Not you. You gotta be that Ukrainian first.
Oh fuck.
Oh, Monday.
I'll have one for you Monday.
I love it.
fucking hell. But yeah, so obviously we got John Jones returning, and then moving back into the notes that I have for the week, Valentina Shevchenko will be fighting on that card against Alexa Grasso.
Oh yeah. It's a murder always. Anyone that Valentina versus is a fucking mismatch.
Shevchenko is a fucking Terminator, man.
Jeez.
Terrifying. That last
good.
fucking. How did she win her last fight? It was a crucifix knockout.
There might have been a few
A murder. I
few
feel.
ago, but yeah,
We were
was
watching it
brutal.
together. She
I thought it
got
was by murder.
that
Yeah,
bitch in a
would've-
crucifix and then elbowed her in the side of the head and knocked her out.
Yeah, she's a fucking weapon.
And like that's one of those things as well. It's like
I've read.
even like some of the most skilled fighters won't do that. If you get what I mean, because they don't have that thing in their head of I just want to put a fucking hole in this person's
Yeah, you don't
skull.
see many crucifixes.
Shevchenko has that in her of like I'm going to kill whoever the fuck is in front of me.
Yeah, she's a bit. I really want to see her and Nunes again
Go again, yeah.
because that was a close fight then, and they're both so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anyone in that division beating her really.
No.
Too fucking good. She's Yeah,
What
next
divisions
level.
do they all fight at? I'm confused about the weights of them. So Nunes has obviously had a higher weight,
At the weight.
and then
Featherweight
Shevchenko's the weight
and-
down.
I think-
Bantamweight, I think.
So then the weight down from that is like Rose, Whaley, all that.
You know, Nunes.
That might be bantamweight.
I think Nunes had the bantamweight and featherweight.
So it's 120 and
Because they
135.
opened that division for Cyborg,
Yeah.
and Nunes was already the champion at the weight below. I feel it was. I think that might have been bantamweight. I think that's what
Yeah.
Rousey fought at.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they made
Pretty
that new
sure.
division, yeah.
But they're the same weights as what they are in the men. 125, 135, right?
Yeah, then you got
Yeah.
like I think like what flyweight, like that might be where Shevchenko's champion.
Yeah,
Which is
flyweight
like-
sounds familiar. So it's like
That'd
the
be
same weight as like
115, and then so 105 is...
There might be one in between.
yeah, there might be actually.
There's
The lower weights don't
130.
tend
There'd be
to stretch as
135. Then I think 125 might be.
Yep.
That might be where Whaley and Rose and all that are at. No, I think Shevchenko might be under that.
Ah, okay.
I think I don't know.
Shevchenko is bigger than Rose, but that she's like
Oh, well, then
weight.
she might be 125, and then Rose and that might be the one underneath.
115.
But I'm confused
Yeah.
with how their weight classes like sort of work because there's
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 like
not all that many of them.
4. I swear.
There's not
There's
that many
4
women's weight classes.
I don't know. We should look into that though.
But like, yeah, obviously that's going to be a fucking murder by Shevchenko.
Yeah. I just don't see how anyone in that division beats her. Like they can't kind of like bully her because she's big as well as being like extremely talented. That's why the Nunes fight, she couldn't bully like Nunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's a kickboxer like as well, so she's like good at fighting like at distance. So like it's hard to shoot a takedown on her because like they're not as big as her in the first place.
If you do get it down, she's like real high level on the ground.
Yeah, she can get like straight back up.
Man. Or just put you in a crucifix.
But yeah, like her stand up is fucking
Yeah, bread and butter.
like that's what sets her apart. I feel.
Yeah.
She's just she's so elite, man.
Yeah, that's exactly it. She's just got everything fucking covered. There's not really a situation you can put her in that she's not comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I don't see anyone beating her at that weight until she probably moves up, and then she might find some challenges, but I still see her doing real well at that weight too.
Oh yeah, she probably clears out a whole lot of that division. But like you said, her versus Nunes again would be a fucking great fight to see.
Like, Nunes just seems
Exciting.
like a much bigger lady though.
Now she does.
Like now, you know what I mean?
Huge,
Like
yeah.
like you compare like Nunes to
But you've also got
look at Nunes' last 2 fights.
Yeah.
Like and then like think of how like Shevchenko like she's like looks way bigger.
yeah, but I
But
think
then like
that's
what weight would they fight at?
I think that's also due to the fact that like she would just be constantly. She wouldn't allow herself to get over a certain weight,
No, because she'd have to cut
kind
that
of thing, because
down.
she'd have to cut too much. So I think if she was to go up to the next division, she'd allow herself that little bit more. Which living with that weight kind of thing, like your body adjusts to it.
Yeah, I think Nunes just like looks
Oh, Nunes
like,
is naturally
way bigger, like
naturally
height-
bigger,
like
100%.
like even height wise.
Is she
Like
taller?
for some reason.
Is she taller than her? By much?
It's probably not by much, but like she looks like she would be like way bigger.
Way, like, yeah,
like
she's
even like more muscular, more like taller. Like
Mhm.
yeah, well, she's been used to it being up that other weight class, whereas like Shevchenko's been down one. I'm trying to think of what they fought at. I think they fought at Nunes' weight last time.
So Shevchenko went
yeah,
up.
it would have
Yeah.
been like bantamweight then.
Mhm.
I think.
But yeah, there's a bit of a difference in the size, I reckon. Plus, Nunes has just gotten thicker too.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of weight between the like UFC weight classes, not like boxing.
Yeah, it's 10 pounds.
there
That
is
is a lot.
Like boxing, there's like 5.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't heard much about what Nunes is doing lately.
No,
Solo fights.
like she won that last fight with like Juliana Pena.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
Pena calling for the rematch. It's like
Yeah,
That's
but
like
she
not a-
didn't own it.
yeah, like it's
really
not it's not a
necessary.
fight we need to see. Like yeah, we get like trilogy, like cool, but like just
But a trilogy.
after the way you were beaten in that last fight, just accept that you got lucky on the fight where you beat Nunes. That
Yeah,
first time. Like,
exactly
you're
my
not,
point.
You're not going to beat her.
It's like oh no, I don't know what to equate it to, but yeah, exactly that. Like you can't get a lucky win in the first fight, then get dominated in the second, and then try and call for a trilogy because it's like obviously you
Yeah,
just got off lucky that first time. If Nunes was on a game,
Like, it's-
you wouldn't have had the second fight to get dominated in.
It's like similar to like sort of I guess AJ Ruiz. Like
Mm.
you had everything in front of you, and then you just didn't turn up for the second. And then
100%.
if they fight again, AJ knows he can just box your fucking head off for 12
Yeah.
rounds. He doesn't need to get into that firefight again. So
Mhm.
he's just going to continuously keep beating him. I feel anyway. Like he's figured out what he needs to do.
That's it.
Yeah, that makes fucking sense. Yeah, I don't think anyone needs to see that fight again. Like if she went and defended the belt in between the rematch, you could kind of be like, oh, she defended the belt a couple of times. She didn't. She just took the rematch and got a fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, and then that's why she was like, oh, well, I think the post was something like, I gave you the immediate rematch.
Because you had to.
Like
you didn't have the choice. Dana would have just been like, you're fighting Nunes again.
Like, you should give me one, sign the contract or whatever. And I was like, you were kind of dominated, so I don't feel
Yeah, exactly.
the need to see that fight again. Like, it's not like a Rose Whaley type fucking situation where it's like a war. Like, even like fucking Rose could beat her 3 times in a row and I'd still want to watch that fight a 4th.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's competitive and that fucking Whaley can beat her. It's just a matter of actually fucking doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a competitive fight you want to watch again.
Yeah, 100%.
Or even like, who was it? Namajunas and fucking Whaley. Like, that was some fucking cracker fights too.
That was fucking great, man.
No,
That's the same person.
Joanna. I meant Joanna.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like,
Bro,
Whaley.
Joanna Rose. I'd watch that fight every day if I could.
Yeah.
Just fun fights. But like that chick just getting, like you felt bad for that chick.
Yeah, like she got dominated.
And by the end of the second Nunes fight, like you feel bad for her, man. You're like, I
Yeah.
don't want to see this anymore.
Yeah, and then like she's calling for a rematch. Like, no, you don't. We
doesn't work like
don't
that.
need to see a third fight. We don't need that.
But speaking of being dominated, let's move on to a bit of mixed news here. Obviously, we spoke about John Jones being put back into the UFC, fighting for the heavyweight title, which means that Francis Ngannou is a free agent, and he's now talking about trying to get fights with Fury and AJ happening again.
Fury came out after he was at the fights on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Came out and said like, oh, let's do it. Like, make the biggest fight ever. Make it like, who's the baddest motherfucker?
Why?
I'd
So
rather.
we can watch Ngannou get boxed for fucking however long it takes you to put him out,
hits him.
but he won't.
Fury's good.
I want
He
to
doesn't
say.
have the aptitude to do it.
I want to say Ngannou. Joe Joyce.
Oh,
You give him a fight to like have a boxing match.
that's
first.
a good fight.
Ngannou, Joe Joyce. You can't fucking break Joe Joyce's head. Ngannou's like one of the hardest punches ever.
Yeah.
And if you can't catch Joyce, he's going to mow you down. Like, that is, I feel like that's a mad test. If he just jumps in and just goes fucking whack and sparks Joyce out,
Yeah, then it's an exciting.
That
fight for
yeah,
Fury.
that's a statement.
like, and
That's it. It doesn't. Yeah, 100%. That's a real good fucking fight because it doesn't matter if he does anything to Fury or AJ.
no.
If he beats Fury, they say, "Oh, he's had X amount of fights," kind of thing, and fucking. So if Ngannou caught him, and then everybody already thinks AJ's got a weak chin anyway.
Yeah,
so if he gets
thinks
caught, it
he's
doesn't
done.
matter. But
Yeah.
everyone thinks that Joe Joyce is made of fucking steel.
Well, everyone thinks Joe Joyce is like the next fucking big thing.
Yeah, that could be a fucking fun.
It's just on big.
Like, and there's money in that fight, I feel. Like, you could market that in the UK like no tomorrow.
100%.
I
You
feel
market
like,
that all over the world. Ngannou's got enough like worldwide press to
That's what I
actually
meant,
like
like,
up
and then-
Joyce's stature.
But I think Joyce, you do it, you take it to the UK. Joyce has like the good following there.
Yep.
Ngannou already has a good following from all around the world. So
People will pay for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and people will go to England to watch the fight.
Oh, 100%.
Like whereas if he does it in America, not many people would know Joyce there. at the
Nah,
moment.
people will just be coming for Ngannou.
Yeah,
yeah,
like the UK would make sense, and I feel that's a good fight. Like Joyce loses nothing he does because he got beat by a UFC fighter, but like
Yeah, but also...
you're getting beat by a man that can fucking punch.
Yeah.
Like it's no slouch that you're getting beaten by.
yeah, he's put motherfuckers to sleep with some scary punches.
Yeah, fucking oath. And like what Joe Joyce has been cracked by some fucking real good shots, and he's just like the Terminator. The cunt. He just turns his head and keeps coming forward. Like
About it.
I feel like that's a good fight to start him off in there.
Yeah.
Head on the cunt. We like punch a fucking boulder.
And
He's-
Ngannou could very well knock that
Exactly.
boulder
Yeah,
off.
man. He might just be able to crack the fucking rock. But what would be? Yeah, exactly. I that situation would be amazing. Like seeing whether Joe Joyce falls down or seeing Ngannou crack him with a flush right hand on the chin, and Joe Joyce just turn his head back and keep throwing jabs. And going, what the
Yeah, that'd be
fuck is that?
Yeah.
This is not a human.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see either of them.
Because he's kind of crafty for a big guy too,
Yeah.
Who is Joe Joyce?
Joyce.
And like if he beats Joyce, he's instantly in like
Rankings.
and like title
Dude,
contention.
he's instantly a
Straight
number one
away.
contender.
Yeah, like why not?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Oh, Francis, there you go.
Because who's he gonna?
And who's Joe Joyce fighting?
Exactly. But like, who else is he gonna fight that like people are gonna look at him and go, sweet, what?
Exactly, man.
Joseph Parker. If he knocks Joseph Parker out, people are gonna go, he's been on the fucking decline for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that fight.
Well, go in there,
knock him out.
go in there and fight Chisora.
Yeah, like, this
Get it?
sort of
Kill him.
pointless.
Like, exactly. It's 100% pointless. You need to fight somebody of stature.
Everyone's like Wilder, but I don't see the value in that.
Mm.
Like Wilder can punch.
It's just power versus power.
Yeah, Wilder can punch and Ngannou can punch.
That's sloppy. That's not. I don't want to
Yeah,
watch
that's
that.
not a real technical fight, is
Yeah,
it?
neither of them have any technique.
See Wilder get knocked out by Fury, so we know if Ngannou tags him with one clean shot, he's out cold.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like the only advantage Wilder's got is he's been boxing longer. That's it.
And yeah, just the other, like the first two ones that he suggested just don't make sense. It's like
You can't go straight
Fury
into
and
that.
AJ are both smart enough to outbox him
Yeah, and
easily.
like, you're not going to get two of the biggest draws in heavyweight boxing to want to fight this UFC fighter that's just come
Especially
over.
when one of them's
Like-
on the cusp of getting undisputed and the other one's trying to revive his fucking third world championship run.
Yeah, and fucking what Fury was talking about it being like exhibition a while back anyway, so I don't feel like Fury would want to risk his pro record with a fight against Ngannou anyway.
No. Because that's the thing. Ngannou doesn't want to fight exhibition either.
Yeah, like
He wants sanctioned pro fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking to move over to boxing.
Yeah.
Not just like have a little fucking...
Which do it the
Fuck
right
that.
way.
I feel like he's been
He's got an
boxing for like a while now. It's like... I think he knew like the UFC thing was probably going to run itself out eventually.
But my
I feel
point
he's
is
been
like
training.
he's got a relationship with Teddy Atlas.
Yeah.
So you've already got a relationship with a decent coach who has enough of a name in boxing that will be able to talk to the organizations and be like, look, give him a top 15 guy. He'll blast him the fuck out of the ring, put him in the rankings. Give him 2 more fights within the top 10. He'll murder whoever the fuck it is unless they have any kind of boxing aptitude about them. And then he's in contention for a world title in like 5 fights. He's already got the platform
following.
and the following to be able to do it. Like you see all these like kids that come through the Olympics from Top Rank and stuff like that and have all these padded records and things like that because they have this little bit of a following here, but they need the world to see them. So they need to gain this following before they can start giving them actual competition and stuff. Like they could give them the people that they're beating in their 15th fight, in their first fight, and they'd still smoke them. But they just pad their records out. You don't need to do that with Ngannou. He's already referred to as the baddest man on the fucking planet.
Mhm.
Give him 3 fights, get him in the rankings, let him fight for a world title.
He can't,
Yeah, let him get that
he
experience.
can't
and
afford to
shit.
pad a record out. He's not young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to go straight into whatever.
Especially with boxing, man. It doesn't have the turnaround of the UFC. You
Yeah, no.
can't, like, in the UFC, if you were to go to Dana and be like, look, I want to fight 3 times this year and fight for a title next year, Dana can turn around and go, fine. If you fight 3 times and win, I'll give you a title shot next year. It doesn't work like that in boxing.
Yeah, you got to get your way there.
Exactly. And everything's fucking contractual. You might say, I want to fight 3 times this year and fight once in September just because of how everything works out. You might do a fucking 3-month fight camp and have some cunt pull out and then have no one to fucking fight.
Yeah.
Whereas
and
in
then-
the UFC, they just chuck some other cunt in.
Yeah, so it goes. I suppose it goes both ways for Ngannou. Who's sort of gonna have to take who they throw at him too, if he wants to get into like any form of rankings, even
Well,
beat
that's just-
someone just outside the top 15, and then they have no choice but to give you someone.
It's just if he wants to do it right, whether he
Yeah.
chooses to or not.
It'd be interesting to see because I've also seen that he's might be in talks with the bare knuckle boxing,
Ooh,
which is scary.
terrifying. Is there a heavyweight division in that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being on the bare knuckle boxing roster as a heavyweight and waking up and seeing that news story?
Oh, you'd be shitting your pants right now. You'd be
Legitimately.
like, please
That
fight
can't-
Fury.
The cunt that owns that company got 10 calls that day. You better up my fucking contract.
Yeah.
If you're hiring him,
They
you're
just-
paying me the same amount of money as him.
They're just gonna go to boxing. Yeah, bare knuckle boxers. So just let
Yeah.
him go to
All the
boxing.
heavyweights fucking ladder.
And then Ngannou goes to boxing, so they'll just go back to bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Benny Hill cartoon. He's just chasing all these fighters.
Yeah, that's not good for anyone to
Oh,
get punched
fucking
by
hell.
him bare knuckle.
I've missed being in the studio. We get mad sidetracked, but I love it.
It's the best.
But well, speaking of Dana, his new promotion, Slap Fight. Have you guys seen that?
It's so
Right.
dumb.
Which is like, let's talk about the timing of you slapping your wife, then having a fucking promotion called Slap Fight. But it doesn't seem like it's very
Well,
very well regulated.
The one clip I seen as well was 2 women slapping each other. Not 2 men, 2 women.
That's funny.
He's killing it.
I wonder why. But
Loves a bitch slap.
I've seen 2 clips from
Loves.
Dude, this is the most brutal fucking sport. I don't understand why it's a thing. It's fucking ridiculous. Seen some video
Slap
from the
fight
weekend
champion and
of
shit,
some dude like
with a belt.
with literally like a welt that covered the entire side of his fucking face. His face was like blown out. Yeah, it looked like he got stung by 1,000 fucking bees.
Oh, but yeah.
And then
fish get knocked out.
one of the other fighters ended up with memory loss after getting knocked out for taking too many fucking shots. He didn't remember the fight or going to it.
It's just too many clean shots to the temple.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you're getting hit every time with the open hand to the fucking temple.
It's the dumbest fucking sport.
Terrible.
Well, I don't understand it.
Just,
It's not even fun to watch. It's fucking like, there's no technique for one. It's just some fuckwit just standing there going like this and just getting a big wind up and then slapping another person. And then that person, if they stand up, they got to slap this other person back. Like, fuck off. Waste. It's probably like $60 for the event.
I bet those cunts call themselves professional fighters too.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I'm a professional fighter. No, you're not.
fight some fighters.
Slapper.
Bro, fuck that. That's terrible. They're all going to die early. They're going to fucking have brain damage.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, what did your grandpa do? Oh, yeah, he was a slap fighter. Oh, that shit.
Yeah.
That's literally going to be the conversation in 40 years.
That lasted 3 years and then died in the arms.
And it was banned everywhere because of how stupid and dangerous it was. Yeah, that thing. Man, what an idiot.
Slap fight champion.
Yeah, he's a slap fight heavyweight champion.
Here's his belt.
Just a paper belt, just drawn.
It's just a leather belt that's just got champion written on it with a paint marker.
Just a hand, that's the plaque. Just a hand, bro.
Plastic WWE one from fucking shop.
One of the old John Cena ones with a spinner.
Spinning hand.
Yeah, the flashing lights like keep him occupied.
Yeah. He lost all his brain cells.
The first champion! Yes, Grandpa. Yes, you were.
Yeah, you did it.
Jimmy Z! Oh, Jimmy better be at that press conference. Wheel him out.
You better be there.
Alrighty.
Had him on the picture.
So we'll finish off with a tiny bit of boxing news before we move into the breakdowns for the week. Hearn believes that, and we'll be speaking to you later, Eddie. Just you fucking believe. He believes that Canelo.
Believe it or not, Eddie. Believe it or
Fucking
not.
believe it or not. You
best believe it.
You thieving dog. He believes Canelo will fight John Ryder in his return, which is like almost stupid for him to say because it's like it's an IBF mandatory. So he's gonna fight John Ryder, otherwise he loses the belt. He doesn't have a choice. The IBF will just take it off him.
Yes, shut up, Eddie.
And then shut up everybody else turning around and saying, oh, he's trying to take an easy touch. And it's like, 1, he unified a fucking division in a year. 2, he's coming back from fucking hand surgery. 3, it's a mandatory for an organization that's going to take the belt off him if he doesn't take the fight.
Yeah, he has to take it.
Exactly.
I got a bit of a background here. I reckon he might be trying to duck Salt Papi. We spoke about it already. Canelo doesn't want that fight.
Okay.
So I feel like he's taking a mandatory just to get out of that, not because he has to have a mandatory fight.
He's running from the salt.
Doesn't want that salt.
Scared of the assault.
But I mean, like, yeah, everyone, shut the fuck up. It's mandatory. There for a fucking reason to not hold up divisions. So fucking.
Which let's take 2 seconds. I showed you that knockout the other night.
Yeah.
How fucking good was it?
It was nice.
Lush. Perfect. Just absolute masterclass of boxing.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Salt Papi's knockout of fucking Josh Baraka.
Oh, fuck me, dude. What a man.
Fucking whip crack, fucking boots. That cunt was out like a light.
That dude that he was fighting is like former kickboxer too.
Yeah.
He's like no slouch.
Yeah, exactly. And like you could tell as well, like it was an absolutely like ripped human standing in front of this chubby Asian dude. And the chubby Asian dude just fucking lights him the fuck up. It was fucking beautiful to see. But yeah, so, you know, that's what's apparently happening. But speaking of Canelo, he came out with a statement during the week, which I don't know why the fuck he's still talking about it. It's like, stop being butthurt about it. Says that if he was at 100% for the Bivol fight, that it would have went differently.
All right, we'll just get to 100% and have a rematch.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have went different.
No.
I feel like Canelo had like an air of like
Arrogance.
no, like he was invincible. Like fucking, he beat all these big people and he got up to someone that wasn't playing into his game. Bivol wasn't intimidated. He wasn't like taken back by the bright lights and shit. And he stuck to his game plan and just punched with Canelo, kept his distance, worked behind shit. I see it going the same way if they have a rematch at a lower weight. I don't see it going any different.
He forced Canelo to fight his fight.
Yeah.
Which is not something that a lot of people can do with Canelo.
Well, Canelo, you can see he was like trying to guide him in, like, come to the ropes, and Bivol just shook his head like, no.
Yeah, you come here.
And you can see it like Canelo's like, oh, like,
Bivol's a bigger man, so he's
and he used it like,
yeah, like so. You weren't 100%, but just fucking
I bet
get to
don't go
100%.
vegan.
Have a fucking rematch and
And the real
sorted.
like icing on everything as well was the way that Bivol absolutely dismantled Ramirez afterwards.
Yeah,
Because it just proves that he didn't just like have his fucking Cambosis moment and have a fucking great night against Canelo and then lose against another top flight contender. Like he
Picked
outboxed one of the best boxers of this generation and then just went and fucking dismantled an undefeated fighter for 12 rounds.
and a much bigger dude.
A
Than
much bigger dude.
I was like, what the fuck when I seen them next to each other? Hey, Ramirez and Bivol.
Well, Bivol's are quite like obviously he can fluctuate between like super middle and light heavyweight, but he is very small for light heavyweight.
Yeah, and it's shown in that Ramirez fight, like he looked like 3 divisions smaller.
Beterbiev's like huge compared to Bivol. Like not height wise, but like you look at how fucking big he is as opposed to like Bivol. Bivol's extremely like he's cut, but he's just he's extremely slight.
Yeah,
But it plays into his advantage because he has that fucking style of just in out,
yeah.
constantly in his range, then out of yours.
Yeah, I don't see it going much different. But I mean,
No, and honestly, the more time goes on, I'm like leaning more towards your opinion of it as well. Like, it's not gonna make it. It probably is gonna because the scorecards were like fucking way in Bivol's favor, which they should have been 100%. He won that fight. I think it may be a little closer next time.
yeah,
but
for
I still
sure.
think he gets it done.
yeah. I think Bivol will still beat him.
Yeah, I feel like Bivol's got to come out and just do the same thing, and Canelo's not going to have an answer for it, being
No.
the smaller guy. I don't know. We'll see if that fight happens after the mandatory. We'll probably get an announcement of what's next for Canelo.
Yeah, we will. You would hope so, anyway.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, well, he'll be back this year. And finishing out our fight news, apparently we've got it confirmed at this point that Haney and Loma is set for May 20 at Madison Square Garden. The only thing that I did see about this is the fact that they apparently really want to have it in New York, but there's heaps of like sporting shit going on around that time of the year. It's like around the time of the NBA finals and hockey finals and all that type of shit. So like the Garden's pretty much booked out. I don't know why they don't just move it somewhere. Apparently they were talking about Vegas as well, which is like, go put it in Vegas. That makes sense.
Vegas is just easier to put.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's happening in Vegas. I don't know how Loma's such an underdog in that fight.
It makes no sense.
Makes 0 sense. I see Loma winning. Like, I don't like, and I see him doing it pretty convincingly. I don't see Haney, like, I say it the same thing every time. I just don't see Haney's like jab and grab being able to work against someone that good.
It'll work for a round, and then
Until
Loma goes,
gets his
okay,
read
I
and he's
figured
like,
that out.
I just got to get out here and then punish him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see it being even a close fight. I see it being one-sided.
It can go either way, in my opinion. I don't
Haney
think
can
it's
hit him and hurt him.
I don't think it's going to be a close fight in any way, shape, or form. I think it's really going to go one way or the other. One of them's going to be quite dominant, and the other one's not going to be able to figure it out
Yeah. I mean,
because they just have such opposing styles. Like Loma's extremely like pitter patter angles, moving around you, kind of thing, constantly trying to reset himself and you. Whereas Haney is just stick to his jab, move on the spot.
Yeah, like if
In and
Haney
out.
has trouble tying him down, it's just going to turn into like a boxing match.
Yeah,
He's not going to get into a firefight.
no. Yeah.
Loma's going to be trying to use angles. Like it'll just turn into like a pure boxing match if like Haney can't make himself being the bigger man work.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly sure that either of them have the power to put each other out.
No, I don't. I feel like
Not necessarily the
Over
power,
time.
but They've got power in combination. They do.
Yeah.
Like a combination of punches is what will drop some. Like either one of them. I don't think like a one shot's gonna put the other one away.
No.
I mean, it's a fun fight. I'd probably reckon if Haney wins, he's moving up because he's just way too fucking small for that. The weight cut and that now.
Mm.
But yeah, I see Loma. It's been too good for him, and like not falling, like not letting the whole like jab and grab thing work, and then turning into a boxing match where Loma's going to beat him 9 times out of 10.
I see. That's why I see it more going turn to a boxing match. It won't. That's if Haney can't like impose some form of game plan where he can manage to grab him and wrap him up and whatnot.
Like the first like Kambosos fight where he like done that well, like
Yeah.
stuck behind his jab and then just wrapped him up anytime Kambosos
Yeah,
tried to flurry.
I know it's going to be harder because he's fighting Loma, but like he's got that same sort of size advantage, I guess.
Yeah.
So like he may be able to, but Loma will be a bit too slick. But we can go fucking either way. Really,
Really good.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But why don't we roll into our coverage from the week here?
We're going to talk about Parker.
Yeah, we'll start off with that on the card, on the Eubank Smith card. Wins a sloppy unanimous decision against something Massey.
This wasn't an enjoyable fight to watch.
No, not at all.
So they both threw fuck all and both gassed out pretty early from what I was seeing. So it just made it a boring fucking fight
Yeah,
to
Parker
watch.
seems to have like put on extra weight since he's been training in the Fury camp, which I don't
Did
think
he
works
get
out well
sparked
for him.
His last fight.
Yeah, that was the fight
Yeah,
against
you
Joe
could tell
Joyce.
because he was real hesitant. He didn't want to like engage, and every time he would get hit, you could tell he was kind of he didn't enjoy it. But yeah, this other guy was kind of hesitant as well. So it was like, yeah, just two hesitant fighters, like heavyweights, which never
Yeah,
makes an
it's-
exciting fight, really.
Not what you want to say.
But we moved into the main event, Eubank versus Smith. Holy fuck.
What a fucking turn of events.
What an outcome.
What a comeback.
Fucking,
Speaking of,
I'm pretty sure fucking Smith's wife would have got come on her back that night.
Smith's wife.
There's no fucking doubt about it. Fucking,
Or at least Smith's mistress, as Eubank accused him of.
that's got to be the upset of the weekend, for sure.
The weekend?
What do you mean?
Like, there could be
Close to
so
the-
many more this year, but so you just like the weekend.
But we're only in January.
It's
That
such
could,
a
that could
contained
be close
event.
to one of the upsets of like the year, I suppose, the way it was like portrayed. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a one-sided, meant to be a one-sided fucking show for
Well,
Eubank.
It looked like it was.
Yeah, it was leaning that way. And then Beefy, Smith. Now, do you have any words for Beefy before we get into the breakdown of this fucking...
Change your fucking nickname, but other than that,
Not really much to even break down.
fuck all to break down.
Trying to get behind the Eubank, trying to get behind the jab. Like even in the first round, Smith had caught him with a couple
Yeah.
of like clean shots, and then just ended up being able to back him into the ropes, I suppose, and he just let go.
Mm.
Like he wasn't waiting for Eubank to fucking try and fight off the ropes.
No. He just
Once he got in there, he just
throwing.
fucking started throwing.
So I feel like we were watching the slow-mo, Ned, and a lot of shots weren't landing, but then that uppercut
Mm.
is what turned things on its fucking head. He landed this uppercut, barely landed it, but it just was enough to set his head up for that hook.
Yep.
From the hook, he went down.
And then tried to get himself up way too fast.
He sprung himself like off the ropes to stand up, and like we were talking about it earlier for him, if he just like kind of like sat, composed himself for even just like a couple of seconds, but the fight might have like went back in his favor by the end of it. But tried to get up too quick. Smith rushed in, flurried again, put him down again. The ref waved it off. Fucking crazy scenes. Fucking, I did not expect it to go that way whatsoever.
No.
Like we did say, like, oh, Smith's got to make it just gritty and get in there and like throw shots in close. We were talking about it earlier, and we were like, he just doesn't have the power. But apparently he does.
Well, it's an interesting question or an interesting thing to say because, like we were talking about earlier as well, like, does Smith have the power or is the cut really getting to Eubank?
He did look dead.
Yeah,
in that picture he put on.
yeah,
But nah.
yeah. He looked
Oh, you could see the outline of every single one of his muscles.
His like fucking hip bones were like that far past the rest of his body.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking good sign.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that weight cut's too much for him. Well, before we get into it, what's next for Smith, you reckon?
Probably
That's
a rematch,
interesting. He's
to
at
be honest.
168 now, so
Probably a rematch, to be honest.
yeah.
With Eubank?
I for some reason I feel like there was a
Up higher
rematch
or there?
clause.
Probably the same weight. I just feel like Eubank will want to prove that point. Enough people want to see Eubank lose.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough to make the rematch
I mean, I'd watch
work.
it. Fuck.
In England again, it'll make money. There's no reason it won't sell after
Yeah,
the shock
100%.
result that just happened.
Take it to Liverpool.
I feel like it'll. That's probably the next move, and then I don't think we'll see Eubank versus Ben for years now.
I don't think we'll see that fight now.
No, I completely threw it out the window.
If
Shout out to Noddy
Ben,
Ben.
hits fucking Eubanks like that, fuck me sideways. The boys are onto something. Dude. If you haven't,
Yeah, the video Conor Ben put out. What do
Yeah,
you think, Dad? Wouldn't have gone 2 rounds, would it? His hands over to Nigel, and Nigel's like,
it's good.
Oh my god.
Um,
Oh, it's so funny.
well, if we're gonna see that rematch, if Eubanks can come back in and get the job done against Smith, does it put the Ben fight back on the
No.
table?
No, not really.
Because like he's not gonna stand up to Ben shots.
No.
There's no way he can go into the fight with fucking like Canelo or Triple G like he'd been trying to call for. Like, you just got fucking slapped by a bloke that Canelo literally murdered.
Yeah.
it was
Like,
yeah.
just body shots. Grove Smith and
I'm real glad we didn't see Triple G versus Eubank. Oh, I kind of wish we did see it, but that
That
would have
would've
been bad.
like, he's lucky that wasn't Conor Ben in there, or his career would be over. He's like, I'll have to retire if I get beat by him.
Mm.
Well, you fucking should consider it after fucking beefy fucking Flattinger.
Yeah, that's it. If you were gonna retire after Conor Benbe, yeah, fucking I'd heavily consider it after you got beat by Liam Smith. And that's not to say that Liam Smith isn't anybody. It's to say that you were touted as way better than Liam Smith, and it's fairly fucking obvious that you're not.
Yeah, and you were talking about like flogging, like if you lost to a young bloke that's on the rise that people think going to be a world champion, that you should give it up.
Yeah,
Then you
not a
Probably
40-year-old man.
yeah, who's like had his time as a world champion, and he's like on the decline.
Yeah. It might be his last dare say, yeah, he's how old would Smith be? He'd be like late
Late
30s.
Oh no, I think he's about
Don't tell me he's like near our
20.
age.
no, I think he's like 34 or something like that. He's only like a year older than
Hey,
fucking
fuck, bro. That
Eubank's
is,
like 33. He's only like a year older than Chris Eubank.
Eubank looks like fucking
I thought there was no
24.
sun in the UK. How the fuck do you look like that at 34?
Genetics.
travel.
This is the worst genetics I've ever fucking seen.
Living in Liverpool.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he looks 40.
Like, was your dad a roofer and just had to take you to work all day, just strapped to his fucking back or some shit while you're an infant? Why do you look like that? Skin looks like sandpaper.
Spent more time on the pavement than
Talk
he
about-
did inside the cunt.
I talk about gritty. Your fucking forehead.
That's what I was talking about, bro. I thought he was just going to get in there and fucking rough him up with his
Yeah.
fucking forehead.
What happens when you get bashed for a living? It takes its toll.
Yeah, fuck it, would I?
What happens when you get bashed, like, pretty much most of your life as a child and then go into getting bashed for a living?
Pretty much.
Yeah, crazy fucking scenes in the main event there.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
UFC 283.
Yeah. So I didn't watch any of this, so you're going to have to give us the full rundown.
Yeah, it's just, this is fucking.
Trying to
Time
think.
to shine,
This is the
mate. I
Griff
can just
show.
kick back.
So I'm trying to think what was actually on. We had Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. We had Brendan Morano versus Davison Figueroa. What was there was another good fight on there.
Gilbert Burns fought Neil
Oh,
Magny.
Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Yeah. That was a short fight. That didn't last long at all.
Before you get into anything, we did have Shogun retiring after a loss on the prelims.
Yeah, he should have retired before the fight.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of him falling over?
Yeah.
Just fell over, bro. Like, he wasn't even doing anything. Just, they just let him in the fight. Like, he should have retired before the fight, no doubt. As soon as you fall over, that's like, oh, this dude needs to stop.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that fight. I didn't need to watch that fight. He got stopped. Oh, actually, I did want to talk about the Johnny Walker, Paul Craig finish. It was impressive.
That was on
Walker.
the main card?
Yeah, main card. You can take it, bro. You can take it. Johnny Walker coming off like 2 losses.
Yeah.
Paul Craig threw a kick. No, Johnny Walker threw a kick. Paul Craig caught his leg. So while he had one leg up in the air, he threw this straight right and fucked up Paul Craig. So like one leg up, like stopped him essentially from them punches.
Fuck yeah.
Got on top of him, landed a few more. That one was over. Good, like maybe like a resurgence for Johnny Walker. But his chin's like suspect. So I don't know how it's going to go in future if he fights another heavy hitter because Paul Craig's like a jiu-jitsu guy. So interesting to see where he goes. Yeah, Gilbert Burns pretty much just got a hold of Neil Magny, took him down, got into like a head and arm choke, finished it in the first round. Brendan Morano versus Figueroa, that was a fun fucking fight, man. Controversial fucking things happening towards the end.
Yeah.
But Morano pretty much like pushed the pace, was pretty dominant throughout. I think it got stopped in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, I believe it was the end of the 3rd, going into the 4th.
Yeah, because he just didn't come out.
Yeah.
He couldn't. The doctor stopped it. But yeah, pretty one-sided throughout. But fun fight. Like, they could fight all the time. It's always going to be like interesting and whatnot. Morano threw like a left hand, like kind of lunging, and his thumb knuckle went into Figueiredo's fucking eye, but like kind of under his eye, like cut his under his eye. But then he kind of pushed him with his right hand, and the crowd seeing that as like an eye gouge because he tried to like say it was an eye gouge, but it ended up getting called punch in like a punch like with a knuckle, so it was clean. Yeah, they stopped the fight. He was doing like his post-fight interview. I don't know exactly what he said, but he just said like Viva Mexico something, and the Brazilians took that like the wrong way and pretty much were like hurling shit at him while he was
Spanish
leaving.
and Portuguese are quite close, like similar languages, so he could have said something in Spanish that means something completely different in Portuguese.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened, but it's also like he was fighting a Brazilian in Brazil. If you win that fight, they're going to be pissed regardless.
Yeah,
like, but yeah, so he pretty much got like ushered out by security. He got a bunch of shit thrown at him. Main event, Glover Teixeira retired at the end of the fight.
Yep.
Holy fuck, dude. That guy's like 40-something. Like, actually 40-something. Not just like, oh, he looks it. Actually 40-something.
Yeah.
Went in there with Jamal Hill, who's like mid-20s. He's like not even in his fucking prime yet, I don't think. Probably like late 20s. And took a fucking beating, man. It was like, by the end of it, it was fucking hard to watch. Like, Glover's fucking face was cut on both sides above his eyes. One of the cuts you could put your finger inside of, I'm sure. It was brutal. But he fucking fought all 5 rounds, man. It was a fucking fun fight to watch.
Yeah.
Jamal Hill, I didn't, that was his first 5-rounder fight. I thought it was. But I didn't know he didn't get a full camp. I was going to say, because he came in looking like a bit like pudgy for it. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's just how he comes into all his fights. But yeah, he ran out of gas maybe halfway through, but then kind of died off for about half a round and then just came back like into the next round, like re-energized and just continued to just put an absolute beat down on this old man. It was
Seen a
sad to watch.
brutal fucking video of his coach pouring water on his head just before the 5th round, and it's like he's obviously got a cut up in his hair, and like he's a black guy, so you can't see anything like coming down his face or anything like that. His coach pours water on his head, and it looks like someone just poured red Gatorade all over his head. All the blood comes out of his hair, and it just goes all over his face. Fucking brutal.
Brutal scenes. But good fun fight. But yeah, Glover retired. I'm kind of glad he retired by the end of that. Like, he's had a mad career. And
Yeah,
like,
he really has.
An awesome story by winning the championship when he was like 40 years old. So I'm glad to see that.
I've seen some
happen.
stat today that like he has like the most like finishes at light heavyweight, most submission finishes at light heavyweight, most title defenses at light heavyweight.
He's got another one. He got another one yesterday.
Most significant strikes
landed on him. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
On him.
Yeah, it was like the most significant strikes that. Or are you talking about Jamal Hill?
No, I'm talking about Glover.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's got that on his fucking record too.
Yeah.
I think
Taking
that's
the
like-
worst beatdown in light heavyweight
second most landed strikes in
Yeah.
UFC lightweight history as well. So
Yeah. Dude, he
he's
put
done all right.
fucking, it was
That's
like
it, man.
the second round, Jamal Hill threw like a switch kick. And just from there onwards, it was fucking done, hey? Yeah. Threw one, and Glover just kept blocking with one hand. You shouldn't do that. You should kind of try to block with both. So you
Yeah.
don't break your hand. Then, yeah, he's seen that he was doing it, so he just threw it that little bit further, and his foot like clipped around and hit him. It's just like, from that point onwards, it was just a beatdown.
Yeah.
Glover tried, though. He like got him down a few times, but Jamal Hill showed good wrestling, good takedown defense, and good ground game when he did get taken down. So, yeah. Him versus Jiri should be a fucking fun fight.
Yep. And I seen a photo the other day. Jerry's back in training.
I seen a fucking video of Jiri after the fight, and he's like, pans to him, and he like pans up, and it's like all snow behind him. He's like, congratulations. And he just starts screaming about how he's coming. So I don't know what he was doing.
That guy's fucking terrifying, man.
He is. But that's a dope fight.
Fucking white guy that acts like a Japanese man. Like, you don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah, full samurai.
Although, the black beast may be coming.
I feel like he might be
See
making
that
a run
shit?
at featherweight.
Fucking, he's going to fight Rose.
He might.
Did you see that shit?
You what?
There's a video of fucking kicking around the internet of Derek Lewis, like, running, like, just jogging, but he looks shredded. Like,
It looks
no gut, like, full fucking muscly, like, he looks absolutely cut to the fucking gills.
On a resurgence.
Dude, and we were just talking the other day, like, imagine if he could cut to 205 and
Sure.
just fucking manhandle
Knock
people.
everybody out.
We also gave him a new nickname.
Just have to break Derek Pretty Lewis.
Pretty boy
Lewis. Take it.
Oh, fucking hell.
Take it and run with it, Derek. You know you want
That kind of brings us out of all the breakdowns of the week here, and we'll go into some analysis for the big light heavyweight It's not a unification. Does Yarde have a belt? No,
Nah,
it's
I
just
think so,
a
just a light heavyweight.
it's just a light heavyweight fight, but it is for all of Beterbiev's belts, which he has 3 of.
Yeah, I think it's more a beatdown.
It's
going
going
to
to
drive
be
over, you reckon?
Yeah, like Yarde got stopped by a jab from Kovalev.
exactly fucking just like. Do you want to go now or?
Like this isn't even fucking like forward driving in the yard. This is monster trucking on the yard, bro.
It's gonna get chewed up and spat out, man.
Here's what I was going to say. I got to piss, so I'm just going to let you boys take this segment of the analysis. I don't just talk shit the whole time and piss, and I'll be back.
Okay, that sounds good. So we've got about 2 minutes here to actually fucking give a serious opinion.
I think fucking Beterbiev is gonna beat him down. That's
100%. It's
I don't
like there's no. I'm worried for Bivol in that Beterbiev fight. Like I don't even think Bivol has a chance. Like
Bivol's boxing ability is what will help him out greatly in that fight.
but Beterbiev
like,
has just as good a boxing ability.
but I think like
He relies on his power
Oh.
because he knows he has it.
Bivol's like defensive boxing ability. Like he knows not to get dragged too much into a firefight.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like he will rely on his strength, which makes that fight like interesting because fucking Beterbiev's gonna be like, well, if I can land on this cunt, I'm gonna knock him out.
exactly.
Whereas I feel like he's gonna have sort of respect for Bivol's like boxing.
Mm.
He's not gonna have any respect for Yarde.
No, not
Like-
whatsoever. And Yarde, the way anything that I've seen of like footage of Yarde training, it's like he just doesn't have the like.
Actually, follow
Like
a
you
dude
said-
on TikTok. He like cuts grass and shit for free.
We weren't quick enough for him.
Honestly, I've never seen much about this Yarde guy, but this Beterbiev dude is fucking scary.
Like
Yeah.
Yarde's a decent boxer. He's not
Does
not
it-
bad, but like he's
But
just
when-
up against a
A
monster.
liar.
Like,
Like when you're fighting somebody who has just as good a boxing acumen as you, but can put your lights out with any punch that they throw. Did you see what he fucking knocked Joe Smith out with?
I don't think so.
Sounds like
Just
the most,
the shortest fucking uppercut of all. Like they were sort of like leaning like head in against each other, and Beterbiev just slightly turns and just throws this short uppercut, and didn't even hit him right on the chin. Smith just fucking just wobbles everywhere. He's just got scary power from every angle, and he knows how to get himself in a spot to throw it.
Yeah, well, I
Yarde's fucked.
definitely don't see it going the whole 9 yards for sure.
Oh. A good one. It's a good one. As I said, I don't know much about the yard. Beterbiev just looks fucking scary, man. I don't like that fight for anyone, let alone fucking Yarde.
Like
Just
Yarde looks the part. He's fucking like he's a solid unit.
Yeah,
He's
Trimmed,
like ripped
brush cutted.
ripped as fuck, bro. Like
Used to
Oh, he's got some good landscape.
like he looks as good as a lawn bowler's fucking green, mate.
Oh, he's like that. good.
That's how he looks, but I don't think he's got a chance against
It's
fucking.
got like nice buffalo grass. Like it's
Yeah.
just beautiful done. Like
Like-
nice fucking fence down the middle of him.
Like
It's
if,
just fucking done well.
like if you're a woman, he's probably very nice to look at, but not in a boxing match. He's not going to be nice to look at after fucking Beterbiev's done with him. That's for sure.
You heard it here first, ladies. You want to get him fast.
And that's the
Look
other
at him now before the fucking weekend comes.
It's the
Get on the
Shevchenko
yard
thing
quick.
that I was talking about earlier of Beterbiev is just a person who wants to hurt you. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you've done to him. Like, doesn't matter whether you're the nicest person on planet Earth or whether you're punching a puppy at the press
He's
conference.
trying to punch through you every
He
time.
will hurt you regardless
Yeah.
because he just wants to and he finds enjoyment in it. Have you seen his workout routines? Have you seen the push-ups and shit that he does?
Nah, I've been pretty busy watching that
Dude.
TikTok lawnmower.
If I can try and accurately portray this in a camera, like on a fucking... Can you see my hands on the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So he, like, obviously, like, you know, you do a push-up like that. That's your normal push-up. And then obviously, like, a lot of boxers do push-ups on their fists.
Yeah.
He does this thing when he's literally, like, bouncing himself around where he'll do a push-up on his regular hands, bounce to his fists, then bounce to the top of his wrists like that and hold his entire body weight and bounce off it back to his fists, back to that. And he's literally just going around in circles doing this. Just do.
I'm way
Like,
too scared to do that. Like my arms, like,
dude, it, like, I
Snap your ear.
yeah, fucking see like
tried it once. The amount of strain that it puts on your forearm, it feels like your muscles are gonna snap.
Yeah.
I don't know how he.
bones and shit.
But like, look at him, man. He looks like a chimpanzee.
Oh, he looks
Like,
like
he's
he's
just-
literally got.
Every muscle is just like corded and fucking solid.
Yeah, I don't like that fight for anyone.
Dude, he's fucking terrifying. So it's not even a question of like what happens to Yarde this weekend. It's a question of when does the Bivol fight happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like that fucking fight.
I just
Bivol.
said that while you're out of the room. I don't like that fight with Bivol either because Beterbiev has just as good a boxing. Well, Bivol is the better boxer. Beterbiev can keep up with him and put his lights out
Yeah,
at
if
any
you
point in time.
Land some clean shots. It's gonna start slowing.
Like, don't get me
People right
wrong.
down.
If Canelo was on his game, he could have knocked Bivol out. If he boxed right, if Canelo was able to fight his fight, he could have stopped him.
I don't know if you would personally. I feel like you look who like Canelo has stopped. It's generally like not older fighters, but fighters that are aged through there.
Bivol's been dropped by people that hit a lot softer than Canelo. That was my only
Be
point behind it. Like I'm talking about if Bivol was just completely out of sorts and Canelo was dominating and fought his fight as opposed to actually trying to keep up with Bivol, it would have been like I reckon he could have stopped him.
Maybe.
But
I doubt that just because like we couldn't see Canelo stop a 40-year-old Triple G.
Triple G's different.
Different. He is.
You can't.
He's a fucking
You
strange.
literally have to
Triple
push
G
him.
did
As,
get hurt by like that Chinese fella, Asian fella.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
did.
exactly Japanese. I don't know where he was from. I'm sorry. Jesus fuck.
I was not to say you couldn't stop Triple G to the body after a couple of years, but like I reckon you could punch Triple G in the face as an 80-year-old man, and his head's still going to turn and look straight back at you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's in the nursing home, just blocking nothing but body.
Yeah,
Fucking triple.
only
Triple G.
protected. Only
Yeah, it's fucking. But I don't know. I mean, I want to see that fight at the lower weight because if Canelo's like, if it's at my weight and I'm at 100%, well, let's fucking see it. Bivol said he would go down at some point recently. He was just like, yeah, if I have to go down, I will.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
very capable of it. He fought at 168 not long before Canelo was there.
Yeah. So he's said it's not a problem. And he's confident, like, regardless of the weight, it's the same outcome, which is like every boxer says, obviously. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt it when he said it,
We just need people to put their money where their fucking mouth is.
Put your money where your yard is.
But speaking of people putting money where things are, why don't we roll into that Sam's My Bernie for this week?
Can I just make one more?
Hmm?
Yeah, it's going to get aerated this weekend. One last one. I'm done.
Fucking soiled.
The fucking nigga. Yeah.
Mow the yard.
Heavy rain coming in. It's going to be all flat.
Could be a bit of a washout, to be honest.
Mushy in some parts.
It's not going to be good for Yarde.
Yarde will get flooded.
It's going to be flooded for sure. There's no return. It's going to fucking ute parked on that kind of a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Tire marks.
When he tries to drive out, it's going to dig in. He's going to get bogged. He's going to have to fucking get out. It's going to be big fucking holes. It's a fucking nightmare. You're probably going to have to call that TikTok dude that does the mowing. I don't know his name, but find him. He might be able to do something. He might put some clippings in, raise it back up. I don't know what he does. Don't know how he does it, but he does a dope job.
Just didn't know when it was going to end. Didn't know when to be prepared to speak. Alrighty, so let's roll into that Sans My Bernie. As I said, we're going to talk to fucking you later in the show, Eddie.
It
was pretty fucking convenient that we released a podcast on Monday saying that Salt Papi should turn pro, and 3 days later you do an interview with those Ack and Barack motherfuckers and say the exact same thing.
Now, Rich.
That's real convenient, don't you think?
Get him,
Are you stealing our ideas?
Get him, Ned. I'm just going to sit back and let Ned go. He seems very worked up over here in the
I
corner.
don't fucking like him, man. We give
Get him, Ned.
We give this guy an
Fucking get him.
appreciation moment every fucking week.
Bounding over.
Oh, that's just an Australian icon,
shit.
that video, eh?
If you're watching from the States, just search "he came bounding over" in YouTube and like
And thank us later.
thank us later, 100%. Like that guy's an Australian icon. But anyway,
Okay, yes.
yeah, it was fucking extremely convenient that we're talking, and especially we talked about it a lot about the fact that we think this cunt should legitimately turn professional.
We forgot to talk about the UFC card. That was a pretty big card because we were too busy talking about Salt Papi.
Yeah, that's how fucking interested we were in it, and like we're not even making the point for a fucking like a joke. Legitimately, he fought somebody who had previous fighting experience.
Kickboxing from memory.
Kickboxing, yeah, but still, you know, somebody who's only just coming into a first couple of combat fights, and it wasn't. You look at the comparison to how KSI knocked his fighter out. Yeah, the dude wasn't and didn't have any professional fighting experience whatsoever. But sloppy as fuck. He was literally standing there with his hands down, and then he just comes in with this sloppy as fuck overhand right. Salt Papi, you watch the 20 seconds before that, he's pouring at this dude. He's getting the range. He's waiting for him to step in, and the second the dude steps in, he shifts a little bit to the side, cracks him with his fucking perfect straight, steps out, does everything right, man. And
Beautiful.
if you look at his social media, right, as opposed to someone like KSI, yeah, he wants to be this fucking fighter and wants to fight Jake Paul and all this kind of shit, but he's still doing all of his regular fucking YouTube content. Salt Papi, however, all of his content now is just him shadowboxing, training, promotion for fights. He is like a 100% actually behind it and wants to do it and has the skills to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like I read a little thing into him. He grew up in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And was boxing from like a really young age, and then had to move out of the Philippines, fell out of boxing. So it's like something he's like passionate about too. It's not just like, oh, I can make money. Like he wants to box.
And they breed him fucking good over there, man.
I mean, fucking, they don't breed him any better than fucking the Pac-Man.
Dude, literally, like, this is the only 8-division world champion in boxing.
Manny, I just want to say, with the things that are probably going to go ahead, I got you back, bro. I'm going to take one for the team, and I got you. I got you, homie.
Oh, well, fuck, right. We didn't speak about that. Did you see any of that shit? All right, so we'll do this as an end segment, but we'll just finish up by saying, if you're going to turn him pro, you better put us into that fucking contract, because you know where the idea came from, you lanky motherfucker.
Came from the boys.
You come to Australia too much to get away with it, Eddie. Pay
Came from
up.
the boys.
So we'll quickly close out the show before
I'll copy that.
we do anything with the tiniest bit of news that we forgot to bring up, but it's like, dude, this shit is ridiculous. All right. So it's looking like Errol Spencer's going to move to 154. Errol Spence holds 3 of the belts at welterweight. These organizations are conspiring, or it looks like they are, to turn around and offer Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather a professional fight in Vegas for 3 of the welterweight straps.
Cracked.
They're both under the same promotional company. They both fight Verizon.
Manny and Floyd.
Manny and Floyd. They're both signed under Ryzen's like separate. Like they're signed under Ryzen, but it's like it's the same thing that Jake Paul's doing with the PFL. It's like a super fight division.
Oh yeah. Stupid.
It's fucking stupid.
I
Why?
mean, they're just going to vacate it. They're going to win. Whoever wins is going to win, then vacate. They're not fighting a fucking up-and-coming welterweight.
The exact same thing's going to happen with the belt.
And Floyd's
If
not.
he releases them, they're just going to get separated.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to have to fight for him.
This
So,
is
I mean,
almost
that's not a bad idea in the concept. Let one of them, hopefully Manny, get another fucking belt. Floyd get a fucking loss on his fucking record.
Mm-hmm.
And then separate the fucking division up. I kind of like the idea.
But that's just it. It's stupid. They're not going to fucking do it.
I don't
Even if
I don't
Pacquiao
know.
would, Floyd won't.
Floyd won't.
No.
Floyd won't do it because of his pro record.
And Manny, it's
Manny don't give a fuck. He's lost.
yeah, Manny's been fucking stopped. He's lost. He's
Floyd
got
got,
nothing to lose.
Floyd got cracked by Deji.
Yeah, I mean,
Whether he allowed it to happen or not, he got cracked by Deji.
yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want to get cracked by Manny Pacquiao.
You don't want to go in slowing down against Manny, who's still extremely fast.
Mm-hmm. Manny had an off night against you guys. Yeah, Manny's in his 40s kind of thing, but Manny Pacquiao's still Manny Pacquiao at the end of the fucking day.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
No,
I'd like to see the belts just get fucking split up. Everyone fight for belts and have champions fight champions and shit. I like that whole concept of like a champion fighting a champion to unify.
I'd say this also kind of fits into those hands my Boney as well, because fucking it's annoyed all three of us. Like, fucking just, well, I don't know. For one, like, who the fuck are these organizations to turn around and do that? If you're a welterweight fighter right now, especially towards the top of the contention of those, I think it's like WBO, IBF, funnily enough, and WBA or something like that. So, like, even the IBO doesn't really matter that much. It's one of those lesser belts. But
How's the Spence has the WBC, the IBF, and the
BC?
WBC, IBF, and WBO.
Yeah, because no,
Spence has Crawford has a WBA. I'm pretty sure.
no,
WBA.
other way around. Spence has the WBA. Crawford's got the WBO because WBO is the brown one. I know my colours. Give me the.
Damn.
Oh fucking hell! What do you think it might be? Might be all we got in store for today.
I think so. Ladies, gentlemen, we're on.
Very quiet.
This turns into Osher Gunsberg from The fucking Bachelor for a minute. Just like trainees.
Sounds like you done a bit of time out in the bush.
Hey.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, fucking we're everywhere. I don't even fucking keep saying where we are. We're fucking everywhere.
That's it.
Help us.
Just open an app and search Eggplant Tornado Podcast.
Help you. Enjoy yourselves. We'll be back Thursday.
We'll be back someday.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we will.
Studios.